My name is Daniel, and like many others, I have always been captivated by the night sky. As a child, I would spend hours lying in the backyard of my family's rural home, staring up at the stars and wondering if anyone, or anything, might be staring back. This fascination with the cosmos stayed with me as I grew older, guiding my studies and eventually leading me to a career in astrophysics. I spent countless nights at observatories, studying distant stars and galaxies, trying to unlock the secrets of the universe. Science was my way of understanding the world around me, yet I always felt that there was something deeper, a connection to the universe that science couldn't fully explain. Despite my deep immersion in science, I never lost touch with my faith. I regularly attended church and often found myself reflecting on spiritual questions that science could not answer. For me, science and faith were not in conflict. Rather, they complemented each other, one seeking to explain the physical universe, the other dealing with the mysteries of existence that lay beyond our comprehension. But everything changed one autumn night when a tragic accident sent me on a journey that would challenge everything I thought I knew about life, the universe, and my place within it. The accident. It was a clear, crisp evening, and I had just finished a late-night session at the observatory, reviewing data from a distant star system. I was exhilarated by the possibilities the data suggested and eager to dive deeper into analysis. As I drove home along a familiar mountain road, I found my thoughts drifting back to a question that had occupied me for much of my life. Are we alone in the universe? Lost in thought, I didn't notice the sharp curve in the road until it was too late. My car skidded on the wet leaves, and before I knew it, I was tumbling down a steep embankment. I remember the violent impact of the car hitting the ground, the sound of crunching metal, and the sharp pain in my head as it hit the window. And then, nothing. The tunnel of light. When I became aware again, I was no longer in my car. In fact, I was no longer anywhere I recognized. Everything around me had dissolved into darkness, but instead of feeling fear, I felt an overwhelming sense of peace. I was weightless, floating in a vast expanse of nothingness. Then, far in the distance, I saw a soft, golden light growing brighter with each passing moment. I felt drawn to the light, not by force but by an irresistible sense of comfort and belonging. As I moved toward it, the darkness gave way to vibrant colors swirling around me, hues more brilliant than anything I had ever seen. They danced and flowed, forming a tunnel of light that seemed to stretch into infinity. As I drifted through the tunnel, I became aware of a presence beside me. I turned, though I wasn't sure how I was moving in this place, and saw a figure bathed in radiant light. The warmth and love emanating from this being were palpable, filling me with a deep sense of calm and acceptance. It was then that I realized I was in the presence of Jesus. Encounter with Jesus. Jesus stood before me, his features both familiar and indistinct, as though they were made of the very light surrounding us. His presence was overwhelming in its gentleness, an embrace of unconditional love that penetrated every part of me. "Welcome, my son," he said, though his voice didn't seem to come from his lips. It was as though we communicated through thought, without the need for words. I wanted to speak, but I didn't need to. My thoughts formed themselves and flowed to him naturally. "Am I dead?" I asked hesitantly. Jesus smiled, a smile that seemed to contain all the love and understanding in the universe. "You are between worlds, Daniel," he replied. "Your physical body is gravely injured, but your journey is not yet complete." I felt a mix of relief and confusion. So many questions raced through my mind, but one stood out, one that had occupied my thoughts for years. Are we alone in the universe? The revelation. Jesus' expression softened, full of understanding. "The universe is vast, Daniel," he said, his voice rich with wisdom. "My Father's creation extends far beyond what you can see or imagine." My heart leaped. Could this be the answer I had been searching for all my life? "There are other civilizations?" I asked, my curiosity surging. "There is alien life?" His response was simple but profound. "Life in all its forms is precious to us. The cosmos teems with diversity, each planet and star system a unique expression of divine creativity. But remember, Daniel, The nature of that life may be beyond your current understanding." As he spoke, the space around us shifted, and I became aware of other realms, other dimensions passing by us. It was as if I could see entire worlds, some like our own, others utterly foreign. I saw planets with multiple suns, beings made of light and energy, and civilizations that existed in ways I couldn't comprehend. It was overwhelming, awe-inspiring, and humbling all at once. "But why haven't we found evidence?" I asked, still grappling with my scientific mindset. "Why don't we know about them?" Jesus' voice was patient. "The universe operates on a scale beyond human perception. Time, space, and even the laws of physics as you know them are not constant throughout creation. Some civilizations exist in dimensions you cannot yet perceive." My mind reeled with the implications. Our search for extraterrestrial life had been limited by our own narrow understanding of the universe. But life, intelligent life, existed on levels far beyond what we were currently capable of detecting. The Life Review. As we continued moving through the tunnel of light, I saw my life begin to unfold before me. It wasn't like watching a movie. It was as if I was reliving each moment, feeling every emotion all over again. I saw myself as a boy, lying in the grass, gazing at the stars. I saw the moment I decided to become an astrophysicist, the long hours of study, the moments of triumph and frustration as I pursued my career. But I also saw the smaller moments, the times I had comforted friends, shared quiet conversations with family, and helped others without a second thought. These moments, which had seemed insignificant at the time, were shown to me as powerful acts of love and kindness. There were difficult moments too. The times I had let pride and fear get in the way, the arguments I had with loved ones, the doubts and insecurities that had held me back. But instead of feeling shame, I felt a deep sense of compassion and understanding. This wasn't about judgment, it was about learning. I saw my life for what it was, an ongoing journey of growth. In that moment, I realized that my passion for science and my faith were not separate at all. They were both pathways to the same truth, different ways of seeking understanding. And at the heart of both paths lay love, the purpose of life. At that moment, something clicked deep inside me. The greatest mysteries of existence were not found in distant galaxies or the search for extraterrestrial life. They were found in the human heart, in the love we give and receive, in the connections we forge with others. "Your work is important, Daniel," Jesus said, sensing my thoughts. "Continue to explore, to question, and to seek knowledge. But always remember, the greatest truths are often found not in the stars, but in the love you share with others." I felt a pull, a sensation of being called back to the physical world. The tunnel of light began to fade, and I found myself standing with Jesus in a space of pure, radiant light. "It is time for you to return," he said, his voice filled with encouragement. "Your journey in the physical world is not over. Take what you have learned here and let it guide you." I didn't want to leave. I wanted to stay in this place of peace and light, to continue unraveling the mysteries of the universe. But I knew that it wasn't my time yet. "Thank you," I thought, my heart overflowing with gratitude. Jesus smiled one last time, his eyes filled with compassion. "Remember, Daniel, the universe is full of wonders, but the greatest miracle is the capacity for love and understanding in every sentient being. Cherish this gift and share it with others, returning to life." With those words, I felt myself being pulled back through the tunnel of light. The colors swirled around me, faster and faster, until suddenly I gasped for breath, my eyes snapping open. I was lying in a hospital bed, the steady beep of monitors filling the room. Pain rushed back into my body, but with it came an overwhelming sense of peace and purpose. As I recovered over the following weeks, I reflected deeply on my near-death experience. The conversation with Jesus about the vastness of the universe and the existence of other civilizations had left a profound mark on me. Though I could not prove or disprove the existence of extraterrestrial life scientifically, I now understood that the universe was far more wondrous and complex than I had ever imagined. A new perspective, my approach to work changed. I continued my research with renewed enthusiasm, but now with a sense of humility and wonder. I realized that the search for extraterrestrial life was not just about finding concrete evidence. It was also about understanding our place in the cosmos. I began sharing my experience with others, not to convince them of anything, but to share the awe and possibility I had gained. In doing so, I found that my connections with people deepened. I spoke at universities, but I also began giving talks at churches and community centers, becoming a bridge between the scientific and spiritual communities. The bridge between science and faith. As the years passed, our understanding of the universe grew. New telescopes and technologies allowed us to see farther into space than ever before, revealing wonders that had previously been beyond our reach. And while we still hadn't found definitive proof of alien life, I remained certain that the search itself was part of something much larger. Through it all, I never forgot my conversation with Jesus. His words about love and understanding resonated deeply within me. In our quest to explore the cosmos, we were also learning more about ourselves, our place in the universe, and our responsibilities as conscious beings. Now, as I approach the twilight of my career, I look back with gratitude and wonder. The question that has driven me all these years, are we alone, remains unanswered. But I've come to realize that the search itself is a profound expression of what makes us human. The final lesson, what I learned from my near-death experience, is simple. The universe is filled with mysteries we cannot yet comprehend. But the greatest mystery, the greatest miracle, is the capacity for love and understanding that exists within every sentient being. It is this love that connects us, not only to each other but to the universe itself. As I continue my work, I carry this lesson with me. Whether or not we ever find alien life, I know that our search for answers is just as important as the answers themselves. It is in the seeking that we find our purpose, and it is in the love we share that we find our deepest connection to the universe. And so, I will continue to explore, to question, and to seek knowledge. But most importantly, I will continue to love, for that is the greatest discovery of all.